Welcome back, guys. So today, again, I'm just going to be continuing on the previous episode, talking about just my whole journey with buying a property for the first time. I did it at 23, and yeah, in the previous episode, we spoke about like my whole process to get there. Obviously, there was also things like um the conveyancing and all of the lawyer fees and stuff that I also learned that you can negotiate. Literally everything is negotiable. That's the one thing you must learn in this game, is that everything is negotiable, and it really opened my eyes to everything knowing that. So yeah, so moving in, got used to like living there, having my own space. Obviously it helped me grow as a human being. The kind of person that I discovered that I'm more the kind of person that likes to put things up on the wall, really get their goals written out and like shown on the wall, which is not really what you want to have in a space, especially a social space if you're inviting people over, because that's like something that's like important to you. You're writing your goal out and other people may find it cringe, they may point something out, etc. So this was part of my growth process that I learned along the way. And it was so good for me. But speaking on the things that I learned in actually moving there. So I lived there now for like 3 years. And essentially what I've come to in this whole process is that when you move out, you're going to find space for yourself. You're going to find like things that you enjoy. You're going to find who you really are in your own space when you create that space for yourself. Other people may have had this like growing up. For me, it was like everyone kind of knew what you were going through. We didn't really have like a locked door policy in my home, and this is not a complaint, this is just like what it was. So having your own space is the step into that realm, and it's eye-opening. It's very good. If you haven't had that experience, I think it's definitely useful. A lot of people have that experience, especially during uni, but like I said, because of the university I went to, I ended up staying at home and then driving to the campus. So, I mean, it comes down to who you are, but essentially, in buying your first property, you should know precisely what you want to do with it. So, when I made this decision, I kept my fee low. I kept the price that I was going to pay low. I negotiated for lower fees, etc. I did everything that I could to keep the budget like low, 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 low. And then we stepped in. So I moved in 2021. So this was like amidst COVID and everything. It was like after like the first like proper wave. And I think branching past the second wave, I can't really remember the full days. But I know that it was that whole process, that whole scare that was happening. And I was working at home at the time. We had not returned to the office. So there was a lot to learn, and all of this was taking place where I was moving into a space. So I really needed the space. So that was the time there. I really needed that space. And in all of those lessons learning for myself, like I gave myself food poisoning, man. Like I tried to cook a piece of chicken. I didn't cook it properly. I gave myself food poisoning. I thought it was COVID. I was feeling horrible. And yeah, basically gave myself salmonella. And yeah, these things, like if it's the real world, I was really not prepared for it. And I mean, obviously, like I can handle myself, but cooking was one of the big things. And I was so up myself when it came to it. It came to the time, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this piece of chicken. I'm gonna sort it out. It's gonna be easy. And I got humbled. And the next 2 days I was feeling it. But yeah, so I mean, I have so many beautiful memories and experiences in that place, but it doesn't take away from what I'm going to say next. So what I'm going to say next is I am moving out. I'm moving back with my parents. And this is mainly because I'm looking at being more free. Being more free in terms of, I know it sounds like weird, you're going to move back to be more free, but you're moving with your parents. And yeah, I'm looking to go back and create like a sense of freedom, because when you buy a property, and this is what no one speaks about, when you buy a property, there's a mental attachment to that property. And you'll see it with some people who, like, when they first start paying rent, they end up spending a lot of time at home because they feel they need to get the use out of the rent they're paying for, and that big chunk of money is going towards that. So I fell into something similar, but for the bond, my mindset was to try and pay it off as quick as possible. Now, if you try to pay it off as quick as possible, you're sacrificing everything to try and pay off this apartment just to say you can pay it off, right? That's really the only benefit that you can. Everyone else moves without having paid it off, and it's the same thing. They're living in this space, right? Otherwise, it's no different from like just renting it. So in my experience, I just realized that, if an amazing job shows up on my doorstep, now I have to think, no, but I'm trying to pay off this job. Maybe I can hold out for another month or whatever. And that's not the way to go about it. That's not the way to live life, especially if you're young. If you're young, what you need to realize is, as you start building yourself up, yes, it's a big grind to get like your first job and get like set up and established in the world. But when you go into like bigger moves, like overseas moves, like international moves, you need to set yourself up to be free to make those. And these are decisions that are made along the way. So renting is actually something that could be super useful if you're trying to set yourself up to go overseas. That way you can discipline yourself to save money, and you can keep yourself agile so that if another job comes up and they need you in 2 months, you can really just like get yourself out of that deal quickly, get yourself into the new contract quickly. So this is the space I want to be in, and what I'm trying to gauge. So now I'm stepping into my first experience as being a landlord, and it's very, very interesting, and it's still a mindset shift, and I still have a lot to learn. Even though I lived on my own, doesn't make it any different versus if I had to do this 3 years ago. So there's a big learning curve, but I'm going along the way, and it's proved to be a beautiful experience. So I'm excited, and I'm feeling excited. Even though I'm moving back, I've never thought I would feel so excited to just like be back with my family. It's a disclaimer, this is like not a big move. Like, it's the same area that I'm staying in as my parents, but it's a different building, it's a different complex, and so on. So this has been very profitable. So like I said, if you're young, if you haven't done the uni experience of living away from your family, you need to do that. Whether it's 1 year or 3 years, take a season of your life, just put yourself out there. Then you can possibly move back once you got like the few scars and like stories of having lived on your own. Come back and appreciate everything. You don't understand. I am so grateful for everything that I've been given, especially with my family, and yeah, no, just amazing people, and I'm very, very blessed. But the thing is, it takes a lot of discipline as well to get yourself in and out of these positions, because if you don't make a plan for yourself and you keep just letting it flow, you miss out on a lot of opportunity. So really, the biggest advice here is to set yourself up to be free and set yourself up to be agile so that you can adjust to anything that comes your way. And having that kind of mindset, having that kind of setup is invaluable. No amount of money could buy that. So no property is worth it unless you are still finding a way to create that agility for yourself. So yeah, don't underestimate your influence, and peace.